Hello, and welcome to week 2, where we are going to be tuning into the universe. And I have got the best activity for you to be able to practice doing that. So, what am I going to be talking to you about today in terms of tuning into the universe? Well, we're talking about accessing our intuition, which is how we actually form that deeper connection with our tarot deck. So, what do I mean by intuition? Well, I'm talking about that internal feeling that something's not right. Um, so, most people, when we're talking about intuition, say that intuition comes from our sort of inside. And yes, it does, because it's those feelings of butterflies in the stomach, um, tickles up and down the spine, feeling sick, feeling something's not right. But those messages are informed from the universal energy that's all around you and from the energy that comes from the people around you. And what happens is those energies start to set off our intuition and our sixth sense, or whatever you want to call it, inside us, and we start to get messages. But if we're super busy and we're not paying attention to what's going on around us, we can find ourselves in a situation where we're not able to interpret what the messages mean, or maybe we misinterpret them, because as we know, the messages are never crystal clear. We have to really tune in to actually recognize them. So it's really important to think about how we can be tuned into the universe a lot more in order to then be in a space where we're able to connect with our deck. And the most effective way to do that is to pick a wink. And this is such a fun activity. I'm really hoping you're going to enjoy doing it. So choosing a wink is really, it's like picking a symbol. So many of you are really familiar with this. Some of you have feathers, or you might see coins or a certain color or numbers, and you're really aware of looking for those signals out there in the universe. So it's about choosing something that you feel really drawn to, or you can let the tarot choose your symbol. So get my tarot deck out. So all you need to do is shuffle your deck and pull a card and see what that card, and you can pull it from the top of the deck, the middle of the deck, it doesn't really matter. But pull it a card. This is just my Rider-Waite-Smith deck, but you can use some of the more contemporary decks, have beautiful images for you. Not saying that Rider-Waite-Smith images aren't lovely, but beautiful images for you to choose your wink. So let's pull a card off the top. What have we got? Nine of Swords. So with the Nine of Swords, you've got horoscope symbols and roses of passion on the blanket. So my horoscope is Libra, so I might choose to be looking for the Libra symbol. There's swords, so I might decide that swords are my symbol. Let's have a look at the next card. Oh, Seven of Pentacles. So greenery, so I might say new life. I might say I'm going to look for gold coins, and they might be my symbol. There's mountains in the background. I might say that mountains are going to be my symbol. Let's have a look at Nine of Wands. So I might say that new growth. You can see all the new growth on the wands. That might be my symbol. Oh, my favourite card. I knew she was here somewhere. The High Priestess. So I might look at the High Priestess and say that I'm going to have water as my symbol. Her flowing robes reminding us of water. I might say that I want to have the moon as my symbol, or fruit like pomegranates or palm trees, or looking at a beautiful scarf. She's got like a silken veil down behind her. So there's so many symbols that you can look for. And of course, depending on the deck you use and what card you pull, and depending on what you feel drawn to in terms of what you want to choose as your symbol. So what I actually had a friend who chose dragons as her symbol. We were doing this as an activity, and she chose dragons, and she said, my partner said to me, what did you choose dragons for? How on earth are you going to see dragons? And at the time we had the whole Game of Thrones thing happening, and I thought, not going to see dragons when there's all the Game of Thrones advertising everywhere. My goodness. So yes, you know, and the thing is, obviously the dragons on the advertising are obvious dragons, but you might see snapdragons, which is a type of flower. You might see water dragons, which is a type of lizard. You might hear dragons mentioned in music on the radio. You might read about dragons. You might see pictures of dragons, Dragonsoft toys, all sorts of ways that you might connect with dragons. So thinking creatively and tuning in and noticing, when you notice the symbol, how do you feel inside? Really important. What signal are you getting? What context? And the reason we're doing this is so that when you're reading and you're looking at the cards laid out in front of you, you can connect into any symbols in front of you in the cards, because you start to have a sense of what they might mean, but also the energy and the symbolism that's coming from the person you're reading for. And you're going to be noticing what's going on inside you as that person's sitting in front of you, so that you can give them the messages that you need to hear. If you're reading for yourself, again, it's about having that deeper tuning in. Now, what I want you to really focus on this week is recording in your journal. Now, this is a way to get you started. So in the journal I've put together for you, lots of information on tuning into the universe that you can read as extra reading material. And also, I've got this worksheet for you. So I've set it up into 5 sections so you can focus for 5 days. And of course, you can print out the worksheet many times if you want to go for longer. And I've just got small boxes. So often we get so caught up in journaling thinking, oh, I've got to write heaps. And that's where my worksheets and having a little bit of structure in your journaling makes it super easy. In fact, you can have your journal, if you have a small booklet, you can reproduce this worksheet into a booklet, and you can, as soon as you notice something, you can just put a little note in your booklet. Don't get bogged down with writing heaps. Just put some little notes like, you know, saw a feather in the park opposite where I work, and just write that. Felt excited. So really short, sharp journaling notes. So, because if you make it too hard and too elaborate, I know one of the comments that writer Carol makes in his bullet journaling book is, the more you try to write beautifully, make it beautiful. Not saying that that's important. For some of you it really works, but the more elaborate and difficult you make it, the less likely you're going to do it. So keep it simple, and it'll keep you on track with your tuning in. Because what I want you to do is notice what's going on around you, notice the feelings that it generates in you, because then once you get really familiar with that, you're going to be able to transfer that to your tarot readings. So what do I want you to do this week? I want you to share in our Facebook group in the dedicated post. Please share if you used your tarot deck to choose a wink. And look, pull as many cards as you like. Do whatever you like to choose your wink. I really want you to focus in on how you feel and what works for you. What I want you to do is go to the dedicated post. The link is in your email. And I want you to share perhaps a photograph of the tarot card you used to choose your wink, what your wink was, even a photograph. If you see your wink somewhere, particularly, you know, if it's something that you see in an unexpected place, you might take a photo, and I'd love you to add it to that post so we can keep all of the posts together, and it makes it easier then to find the material and for us all to be able to interact rather than having it scattered all through the group. It's just so hard to keep track of everything. So I'm really excited. I'm so excited to hear what you think of this exercise, because the first time I did it, I loved it. And I look forward to seeing you online, and next week, where we're going to be talking about spiritual grounding and protection. So what you switch on with your wink, we are also going to be talking about how you switch it off, which I think is super important. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.